The official term for a community like this is a residential air park. Basically a place where you can live with your airplane and walk out the door and go fly. My name is Joe Sobczak. I live here at the Pine Mountain Lake Airport in Groveland, California. Bought the house in 2017 for $698,000. Groveland, California is about 26 miles from here to the gates to Yosemite National Park. It is pristine, a beautiful, quiet spot. Anybody would love living up here. I'm essentially on call as a test pilot, and I almost always work out of San Francisco International Airport. My commute to work is a 100 nautical mile commute, or about 150 miles driving by car. So what I normally do is jump in the airplane and fly down to San Carlos. It takes about 45 minutes to 55 minutes, depending on the winds, weather, and which airplane I'm flying. Park the airplane, jump in a car that I keep out there, my old airport car, and drive up to SFO to go to work. Well, there's probably about 15 or 20 pilots who fly to work either daily or as required. There are a few other people who have various other non-flying jobs or non-pilot jobs that just use their airplane to get to work. One of our neighbors pointed out that she could buy an airplane, buy a house, fly back and forth to Palo Alto, California, where the same house that costs, say, $500,000 here would cost $3 million there. And even after the cost of commuting, come out way ahead, and as a bonus, live up here in the pristine mountains of Pine Mountain Lake. The airport here is owned by Tuolumne County, so it's a county-owned public use airport. There are about 90 residences with hangars that have direct access to the airport from the ground. The beauty of general aviation is the regulations are not nearly as stringent as they are for commercial aviation or military aviation. This airport is uncontrolled, which means there's no control tower, so I don't really have to tell anybody if I'm going flying. All I have to do is taxi out and take off. As a courtesy for other pilots and as a safety measure, the airport does have what we call a common traffic advisory frequency.
Departure end of runway 27.
And we use that frequency to broadcast our position and our intentions, so any other pilots that may be out there flying know we're out there flying and they're able to coordinate with us for use of the runway. It's never loud, but it's so quiet you can hear every little chirp or bark or almost anything going on around here. So it's incredibly quiet and peaceful up here in the mountains. So quiet, it's noisy. It's just the two of us. My kids are grown up, so I didn't need a big house. And when I came up here looking for a place to live, it was really all about the hangar. And you can see the hangar behind me. It's about 3,600 square feet. I moved in and darn if there wasn't a house attached to it. In fact, it's above the hangar and it's about 5,000 square feet of living space, which is about 4,000 more than I need, but it came with the hangar, so yeah, what the heck. The house does have an elevator, technically a dumbwaiter, especially handy if you've got massive camera equipment to carry up and down from one level to the other. I could probably make about 7 or 8 bedrooms out of the place if I wanted to make it a guest house, but they cleverly made it a 3-bedroom house by virtue of the fact that only 3 of the bedrooms have a closet in them, I think is their definition of a bedroom. There are 7 bathrooms, by the way, so no one has to wait. I have a partner in the airplane. He's a retired American Airlines pilot. He lives down in Menlo Park, so we keep the airplane occasionally down there at San Carlos Airport where we have a hangar, and we take turns flying the airplane. This one is a T-34A model, which was flown by the Air Force. One of the big reasons that we bought this airplane is when the airplanes were converted from military use to civilian use, the T-34A, like this one, were certified as aerobatic airplanes. As a general rule, it's about $1 a gallon more than auto fuel. Airplane burns fuel faster than my car does, but I get there a lot quicker too. It's a 2.5 to 3 hour drive in my car. It's a 45-minute flight in the airplane. The cost of fuel is really about the same whether I drive or fly. And then there's maintenance on the airplane. And happily, I'm also a FAA certified A&P mechanic, airframe and power plant mechanic, so I do most of my maintenance myself. So that saves a fair amount of money. I know some people are concerned about the safety aspects of flying, and I've heard general aviation flying roughly equated to riding a motorcycle as far as the relative safety of doing it. A lot of it falls on the pilot. If pilots are careful, they pre-flight their airplane carefully, the owners maintain their airplane carefully, it's pretty darn safe. The reason I feel safer in the airplane is because I have total control of my environment, as opposed to driving the car where it's me and the 5,000 other cars that pass me by on the way, say, to the Bay Area. In the airplane, it's all under my control. There are people around here that come out to the airport and, having been here or owned a house here for years, didn't even know there was an airport here, much less a residential airpark. For pilots, it's a great community just for flying, just being so convenient to the airplanes and in the airport. It's also a phenomenal social environment because you have an immediate group of people that have common interests. There's trade-offs, and it's certainly not as convenient to go get a checkup at the doctor's or go to the grocery store or things like that. It's like any rural community. The services are somewhat limited, but the trade-off is easily offset by the serenity, peacefulness, and it's just a great place to live. There are two reasons that people up here leave and move away from Pine Mountain Lake. One of them is health, and the other is family. And so if those are not obstacles, I would absolutely recommend living up here if you enjoy the rural lifestyle. I don't have any plans to leave. At some point, assuming I live long enough, I'll certainly not be able to fly anymore, but there's quite a social community here of pilots and former pilots in their 80s, but I plan on being here for quite a while. I can live up here, fly airplanes, stay out of the congestion of the Bay Area, breathe the fresh air, take a trip to Yosemite in 30 minutes. It's all the justification I need.